Welcome to Jared's Bike Checks, where motorized bikes are a way of life. Let's get to it. What this is going to be a ride report of my trip around Eglin Air Force Base. It was 140 miles, done in one day on a build that was built the day prior. I put the bike together on Friday and rode it on Saturday. I was looking to use the friction drive and see how dependable it would be and how reliable it could be made for a long distance journey. I would say that 140 miles in a 10-hour period is a long distance journey. I used a Mongoose Deception bicycle frame. It was the last of the frame that I had held on to after cleaning all the piles out of there. And it was a 29-inch frame with disc brakes, and I don't know, it was a wall goose. It wasn't super nice, but it had its features, you know. Sealed bearings in the headset. I'm sure it had regular ball bearings in the cranks, but I put all those together myself. I trust my own work. They're sealed now. I know how to adjust them. What else about the Mongoose? It was a decent bike. I mean, there was nothing wrong with it. It was particularly a good bike, you know, that Walmart had made. That Mongoose Deception. It's aluminum frame, been reinforced everywhere, TIG welded. It's a very beefy bike. You can make it to a very good downhill bike. Very good downhill bike, but whatever, it don't matter. The free ride bike, because that thing is still a beast. It's got a 2.5-inch, 3-inch down tube on it. That thing is it can take some serious force against it. Great reason to use it for a motorized bicycle. It's got front shocks on it. It ain't got the greatest shocks. It's got wall goose shocks on it, but it makes that disc brake work really well now. What else would there be about the Mongoose? I don't know. Brakes seem to work just fine. Had regular old plastic lever brakes, but you know, metal, aluminum grips, but plastic bodies. I'm willing to live with that. I left the shifter on the left as the derailleur shifter and put the gas on the right shifter, just to keep it clean looking. It's not the kind of bike that you gotta pedal just but for a second, you know. Pedals are there to hold your feet like a moped, in that very moped kind of way. What else did I like about that bike? I had a big old giant comfort seat on it that I showed in that video. I can't ride on that big old balloon freaking seat. That thing is goofy. I gave it to my buddy Tony. Let's see if he puts it on one of his bikes. I did have a crappy seat that was on it right now though. But I mean, it was a decent seat, but I just didn't ever recover it yet. Gonna recover it again. That one as well. I ended up getting a little gas tank, Blackburn gas tank for it, and the other bags I just had laying around stuffed in things off of bicycles that I had that had come with bags on them, you know, those little tool bags. So I loaded up the tool bags. The water bottles, I had those 2 water bottles on the dash there, holders for those things were cheap. My buddy Colby had bought one and inspired me to get one. I got one, and yeah, Chrissy's taking those back to the store. That thing, that's crap. That didn't do crap. Maybe a can of beer would hold in it really well, you know, but otherwise it wouldn't hold a bottle of water, just falling out of it. So I try to leave at 10, but by the time I try to leave and the water bottle, I had to turn around and go back to the shop, put on another rig there. That's what you see in the videos, that my water cages had all moved. Because yes, I had to go add cages to the bottom of it to carry fuel, the middle of it to carry drink, and I had a water bottle in my backpack. Both my water bottles just had sweet tea in them. I didn't go get no water. I brought the sweet tea from the home. And a fried chicken in a bag that Chrissy had fried me the night before. So I was prepared to munch and drink along the way. See what I had planned on the trip to be about 7 or 8 hours, about 20 miles an hour. I wasn't sure exactly what my mileage would be. I just set the goal of going all the way around the loop. The loop was from, it was all the way around Eglin Air Force Base, which was 4 different highways. Most of each one of those highways, all the way through. 331, Highway 87, Highway 90, and Highway 98. I will say that they all had bike lanes. Florida's really good about the bike lane. Not gonna lie, I've been in states where Florida's not one. It's a great state. There's bike lanes pretty much everywhere. You'll find some bridges that don't have the bike lane, but they're pretty courteous as well here. They're not so bad. What else was there? I did know that there were severe thunderstorms planned, and that was part of the plan. It wasn't by accident. I knew the weather was coming. I was looking for worst case scenario. I wanted it to be as, let's say, hard as possible in the making sure it got finished. So it was certainly as hard as possible for getting finished. See, got the route. What can I say about the ride? The ride itself was pretty grueling. It was 10.5 hours, but it wasn't so bad. I rode quite a bit, on motorized bikes over long distances, and plan on, future very long distance trips. One across America next year in March. So I was looking for a build that was far more dependable. I needed to be rock solid. I needed to know that if you built it on one day, you could take it that day as far as the sunshine would let you go. The vibrations of the bike are just so reduced. That bigger 4-stroke makes so much difference than using the other bike motors that I was using. Your hands don't go numb from it. Your butt don't go numb from those vibrations. I don't know about the vibrations breaking the bike so much, but I know it'll make your butt and your hands numb. Especially if you're on it for 4, 5, 6, 7 hours. It's coming back. I did make it about 20 miles an hour. I'd made it past one speed trap sign in front of a school, they got the little speedo sign. And it said I was doing 20 when I wasn't aware that it was going to be coming up in any way. So I take it, my cruising speed was right at 20 miles an hour. Although I had been playing with that cruising speed for quite a while now, I assumed it was exactly 20 miles an hour. It would definitely probably go with a 2-inch roller, I'd say 30, 33, 34, something like that. I don't know, it's still fully governed, so You know, I don't know, I bumped into the governor. I never even backed it out from where Harbor Freight sells it to you. Left it just fully governed. And so I'm not really sure about the 30 parts. You know, felt faster in that way, but I'm not sure. I did not GPS myself. I certainly had plans on setting up a GPS for it, but I just have not, man. I'm a bit of a stoner, you know, so I don't try to remember everything. I do not. I'm lucky to remember half the stuff. I never got a flyby in this. Why? Because, man, I, you know, go set the camera up, go driving past it, go back and pick it up. I mean, Jared's never that kind of guy, man. You know, I'm going. I'm trying to get, so I'm sorry about that. And I'm going to work on it. I'm going to get him one day here soon. It won't be long. But it wasn't during this trip. And the weather was so foul. I did not want to get caught with, you know, freaking downpour. And I've set my camera up and everything. I'm still using just my, well, 2 cell phones, an old crappy one and my newer one. That covers camera stuff. Certainly don't have a drone or anything. No fancy drone footage. I watched some guys who got drone footage. That's pretty cool stuff. I can't imagine how long during the day it took them to get those shots. So, I mean, they must put in a lot of hard work. I won't give it to them. They must put in a lot of hard work for it. Gas was really cheap on the whole trip. That was part of the report there. So the 2 times I stopped at the gas station, so I filled up at my shop. I filled up my little extra 1 liter can, and the tank says on the box 0.6. So it's a half a gallon, 1/10 over a half of a gallon. I filled it up to the top. And I filled up my little drink bottle up to the top. I rode that for I don't know about exactly, but I believe it was 49 miles. It could have been a little more, a little bit less. So 1 full tank of gas goes 50 miles. So I guess it is definitely over 100 miles to the gallon on it. So at the gas stations, I paid $1.43 in total to do 140 miles. So almost a penny a mile. And I thought that was pretty cute. That's pretty cheap miles. The gas was like $3 a gallon. I was surprised by that, and they're robbing them out by the highways. It's a touristy area, you know, so if y'all come here, they looking to rob you every chance they get. The trip was planned to be from my house to a hotel, 70, 80 miles away, and then back the next day. That ain't happening, man. They went $150, $200, $300 just to stay in a hotel room. No, I don't think so. So instead of doing a camping trip, because I knew it was going to thunderstorm, so I didn't pull no camping trip out of that. Not just, not to cover that many miles. Wrong bike, and anyways, my Cruiser is the other bike there. It's already, set up for touring with, front rack to hold the bags and everything. This one naked, a little bit naked, a little more of a bike packing setup there, and that's what I was looking for. I'm probably going to make a full frame bag for it, and move where the water bottle goes. I'll be riding this one for a good while here. I'll definitely go rip it around for a good bit. End up wearing a little backpack, one of those hydration bladder backpacks. So it's a really tiny backpack. But all I brought in it was my raincoat, put the extra phone in there. I brought a battery with me just in case the phone had died for some reason. Didn't need no GPS or anything. I know the roads here. Been up and down them many times. Wore the blaze orange. I got it on again today for my video. With the hat, the bug out bike hat. Y'all can see that. This has had a little bit of use across America. It will get more next year. I've been rambling on for a good little while. Let's see. So I left in around 11 a.m. I had a pretty good day. Got out to my old lake, got to my house, went inside, came back outside. Bam! It was already raining. Had to go back inside, wait 30-40 minutes. It had broke. Got back on the bike, headed out, got down 98 a good ways, turned up 87, and that's when I made that next video. And bam, man, I could see it just dumping ahead of me, just dumping. I'm like, man. And I shot that video, and then I'm like, suck it up, Buttercup, get on that bike and go. And I climbed on the bike, and boom, I was gone again. And it didn't hesitate. It rained buckets and buckets and buckets and buckets. It was cute, I ain't gonna lie. I eventually stood on the side of the road there for a little while, just sick of it just spraying me endlessly. It was quite a storm. Cars were going real slow during the worst of it there. And that made me end up at night riding with a little tiny headlight and a little flashing light. And man, the cars were trying to kill me then. I ain't gonna lie, dude. At night they were getting crazier and crazier. It was a big holiday weekend, so that wasn't too wise, I guess, in that way. But hey, I was thinking worst case scenario, man. Worst case scenario, and it covered pretty much all the bases for worst case scenario. Was surprised how strong the wind was, but the 4-stroke doesn't care how hard the wind's blowing. It just doesn't care. Me or 300-pound me would have been just fine going up every hill and strong winds. So, yeah, it's definitely something that I'm impressed with in that way. What else can I say about the 2-inch roller? It worked just fine. It didn't work in the pouring rain as much as I thought it would. When it was absolutely dumping, okay, friction drive is having a problem. There is no doubt about that. I mean, you shouldn't be out there riding. Did I say it didn't stop? But it definitely got a problem. Tire wear. Nothing was noticed as far as tire wear goes. I didn't burn a hole in the tire anywhere. It didn't wear off the knobbies. I am using worst case scenario tires. I'm using fully brand new knobby tires, so not the best thing. No doubt about that. Could definitely use a set of street tread, but whatever, who cares? Doesn't matter, it's not that important. As far as tire, I ran tire pressure. I started off in the 33-pound range. That's just me. That's what I like to run with them. And how much indent the motor makes into the tire is how much friction it gains. And the lower the pressure, the deeper the indent, the more you can feel that motor snatch it. So during the worst of the rain there, when I'd finally gotten off the bike, I lowered it down to probably about 31 pounds. Because, I needed more bite to grab the tire. It was just, the rain was just so darn heavy. It just wouldn't go away. It added on a good 2 or 3 hours to my trip overall. There was no stopping that. it ended up taking, I think it was just 2 tanks of gas in that yellow bottle. Is what it was. Yeah, 2 tanks of gas in the yellow bottle. Gallon. A little bit more. Yeah, it's a little bit more than a gallon. A little bit more than a gallon. But not too much more. I would say it was around 100 miles a gallon. 100 miles to the gallon, would seem like. The 2-inch roller makes so much different compared to the 1.5-inch roller. Whoa. That 1.5-inch is very torquey. If I lived in a mountainous area, I would certainly use that 1.5-inch roller, but 2-inch kind of biggest mountain we have around here at speed. That's Brooks Bridge, which is just straight up bridge. It went straight up it. I didn't have any problem with that. What else was there? Did not think on the trip though, while it was pouring rain, to add another wrap of bungee. That could have certainly helped out a good bit and helped me with how much friction it was gaining. There was various things I could have done if I had totally planned on fighting the rain, but I didn't. I just wanted it to be kind of, just let it naturally happen, see how things went during the day. Let's see, that pupper says, I'm a star, baby. Okay, see you later, bye. I don't know. I think I'm going to make that about it. I really appreciate it, guys. Thanks a lot. It means a lot to me that y'all comment and watch it. I really appreciate that stuff. Thanks.